2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Cali Kings Podcast. This is episode 12. Today we have a very special guest, TheHomieDreebo.
Yeah. What's up, man? What's up?
AKA, I got anxiety.
Hey, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Yeah, so we got Khalil, Munoz, and then TheHomieDreebo, also my uncle. So that's a legendary guest on the pod.
Yes, sir.
You want to
about time, man. Jam.
I know. It's been a long time in the making, so it's, I'm glad to have him on here.
We're also outdoors.
Let me make sure it's recording.
Oh yeah, that's tight. I got the first outdoors one
cool.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I know, facts. This is the first outdoors one.
We're making history.
Yeah, that's like cool. We literally say, Matt, let's make history. That's what we always say.
Let's make history.
Right. How do I say it?
Guys, let's make history.
I swear, that's how I be saying. How often do I say that?
All the time.
So I swear. Y'all gonna have to start pulling up to events and shit now.
Yeah,
You feel me?
Yeah, facts.
Why not?
We actually wanted, when you had a concert, we actually wanted to film it at the time, but I don't think we had our mics.
Yeah,
so.
No, we were gonna do a pod. Remember, we were supposed to do it there.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah. So but I don't know. We needed batteries or something because, or it was either that or I just didn't have the recorder
at the show, huh? Yeah, that would have been a good spot to do it too.
Yeah,
that you could have just interviewed all the random motherfuckers walking backstage. Maybe at the next show, what I'll do is
a pregame.
Nah, like y'all could walk around and just interview the people there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like how you get here? Who'd you hear about? What's your favorite song? Different little shit.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah, that'd be hard
to mix it up because we primarily only do podcasts, but we have been brainstorming other videos ideas that we could do.
For
so that'd be a lit one too, like interviews and stuff like that.
We get one of them little, them little
mics. We have them.
Yeah, you good.
So for sure, be tough.
That'd be hard.
So, for our first question, TheHomieDreebo, what?
You can just call me Dreebo. It's all good.
It's so catchy though. But
It is.
What led you to use that as your artist name?
Damn. So it really started just as Dreebo. Well, it really started as Young Dreebo. Because I started making music in the era where everybody was young. You know how
old were you
nowadays it's like everybody little something.
Yeah.
Back then it was everybody was young something.
So like 100 years ago?
Nah. Hey, it's funny. I went into my old high school and I was talking to the kids. And then I told them what year I graduated. They all was like, damn. I was like, y'all little niggas is young. That's crazy. But all right, so let's see. So this was about 2011. So yeah, I was like 21. I was still playing football. I was in college. My main thing was trying to get to the league and playing football. I was just about to go to Pittsburgh State University, and I was like, you know how you got summer break before you go back to school?
Yeah.
I was kind of like just waiting around. Me and my homie was just BSing on Facebook, and we started rap battling each other back and forth.
Oh,
so we would like take, shout out to homie C Woods. We would just take like popular beats. I made like, Guapole, Closer to My Dreams, that song.
Nah, maybe I heard it.
It go like Closer to My Dreams.
Nah, that shit came out like 200 years ago.
Oh my God, y'all need to get hip. Basically, I did a freestyle over that. We was just going back and forth seeing who could make the best songs and shit.
Right.
And then I liked making music. It was just fun. So then when I went to college, one of the homies, he was like around all the football players, but he wasn't playing football. And he was rapping. So we would just like random weekends when we ain't had nothing to do, we would go over to homie house and he would have a garage band hooked up. We had a little iPhone earphones. We used a little mic and we would just make songs.
For real?
Yeah. So then I just liked making songs, so I just kept making songs. And then next thing you know, I was like, I'm gonna call myself Dreebo. But I came up with Dreebo because there's this dude named Slink Johnson and he did a Everest commercial spoof. And then he was like, look at you sitting on the couch smoking some sticky ass Streebo. But I thought he said Dreebo. So I was like, fuck it, I'm finna be a rapper. I'm gonna call myself Dreebo.
Oh, that's tough.
But then I actually tried to change and go back by my real name, but people kept calling me Dreebo, so I just stuck with it. Then it evolved from Young Dreebo to just Dreebo, and then TheHomieDreebo now.
I mean, are there going to be any more changes, or?
I mean, I got so many monikers, Mr. 365, the cheat code, I mean, I probably never end, and who knows? I'm forever evolving.
Would you say that making it in? Well, first off, what do you love more, like growing up playing football, or nowadays like making music? Like, what's more fun to you if you had to choose?
I mean, I don't think there's a more. I think it was just like a replacement. Like football will probably always be like my first love, but then music kind of filled that void when I wasn't playing no more type shit.
Which one is a harder grind? Because football is more like physical, and this might be more like mental, to be honest.
I would say music is harder only because in football there's like a win and a loss. Everything in music is subjective. It's like opinion based.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I mean? So it's a little bit harder to kind of find the progression, and you kind of got to look at yourself more so than in football. I could win, and then I know like
I'm gonna go here.
You know what I mean? Score more points than the other team, or you know what I mean? Make these plays, and it's just like it's kind of more cut and dry and X and O versus music is like a lot of opinion, and if I think it's good or not, or if you think it's good or not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm also glad you brought up football because, you know, we also wanted you to discuss your college journey, how you started from your freshman year.
Yeah. Man, shit, I was playing football my whole life. That was just my whole thing. Since I was 7. Just playing football. That's pretty much all I knew. Was good at it. Ended up going to Pittsburgh State University. Got a scholarship there. Won a Division II national championship there. I mean, that journey was fun. That shit like created who I am. It has a big impact on how I attack music. You know what I mean? Because to me, I be like, football is really life for real, or just sports in general.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say all
sports is life. Like, you know what I mean?
They teach
like
you all the lessons that you'll need.
It teaches you how to work with people of different backgrounds than you. It teaches you how to fight through adversity. It teaches you how to lose, get knocked down, get back up. Like it just teaches you the waves of what comes with life. So for me, like sports, football, and specifically, just literally shape who I am.
Dang.
It gave you the values in life.
For sure. It gave me the values. It gave me the toughness, the mental toughness. It gave me the drive, the work ethic, the accountability, the discipline. Like, you name it. That shit, I got it all from football, for real.
That's tough. I was going to also ask, because I'm a hooper. Everyone knows who watches. Then, like, I'm a basketball player.
Yeah.
And a famous basketball player that you made a song was with Dame Dollar. So how did that come to play, and how did you guys go about working that out?
That was, when was that? That was like 2020. This was in the pandemic, actually. So the pandemic had like just started. Shout out my boy Brookfield Deuce. He's like Dame's A&R and cousin, and I used to work with him. Shit, maybe we did the song in 2020. I think I worked with him like 2016.
With Dame or?
No, I worked with his cousin.
Oh, okay.
So I met his cousin like way earlier. He did music, I did music. We was cool. We was just working at the same spot, but we always just stayed connected. This was in the Bay Area when I was living in the Bay.
Yeah.
And then I moved back to LA. We always just stayed connected. Fast forward, I did some stuff on one of his albums. Fast forward, Dame was looking for like a hook. I think they were trying to get somebody else, and he thought of me, so he was like, let's get them and him instead. They sent me the record. The record already had Dame's verses on there, so I was just like able to go hear what he was talking about on the verses, and then just kind of create the hook around.
How long did it take?
That was quick. I probably did it that same day I got the song, but then I held it for like 2 days to kind of make sure it was what I wanted it to be before I sent it back.
Oh, okay. Right. So when that happened, do you think that kind of played a role into where you're at now at all? Or
yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of
exposure
like new fans that I got from that song. And that same song was used in 2K. Like, that was my first time being a part of the game, was when he was on the cover.
That's lit.
It was the same year. Like, so it was good for that, because, you know, that brought money and just the opportunity of being on there. And then aside from that, that became like my second million-plus play song.
Damn.
Like, that I was a part of.
What is that like, having a million play song? Like, that's gotta be a million people, bro. Like, that's crazy.
That's a lot when you think about it.
I know, bro. Like, that's an accomplishment for real.
Yes, it's dope for sure. I don't even know how to explain what it's like, because it's just like, I'm still trying to get the next one. So it kind of more so, it's like, it's dope.
Motivates you.
And when you look at it, you quantify it, and you're like, damn, all right, a million people. Because if we just put a million people.
That's like in a stadium. A stadium like 50K.
God damn, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And at least, even if it ain't a million people, it's like at least whatever, however many people played this shit multiple times, whatever the case may be. So it's super dope, and I'm grateful for it, and appreciate the moment. But when I see that, I'm like, all right, how do I get to 2 million?
Yeah,
how do I get the next million? And how do I get 20 million? What's up with $1 billion? You feel me? And I'm just like, let's figure out the next one.
Yeah, that's tough.
And also, speaking of big speaking of big collaborators, we also heard that you used to know Big Jaw, the YouTube sensation.
Oh yeah. Shout out Big Jaw, man. Shout out Big Jaw. Yeah, he's actually Wally's homie.
Yeah, we were talking to Wally about him.
I knew him since
you were younger.
Before then, because they were roommates in college, and I always used to go. So Wally went to Cal Berkeley, and I always used to, as a high schooler, I would always go up there for the summers and like stay like a week and just train with them. So I'd be doing like college workouts and shit, whatever they doing, I was doing.
Copying,
as a high school kid. But them two were roommates. So fast forward, Ja ends up becoming who he becoming, and then he just was always tapped in, and because I knew him through Wally, he always kind of fuck with my shit. And then I had him on my podcast I was doing last year, The Congregation.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he came and he did that, and then also he used "Shut the Fuck Up," my one of my biggest songs, on like the last episode of like one of his big series called like the Homie Pays All the Bills or something like that.
Oh, for real? That's tough.
It was dope.
So when you do those collaborations, how long after is it until you see like, okay, like my numbers were here and then it goes up here?
Usually it spikes.
Yeah,
it spikes instantly, and then it's on you to kind of continue the momentum. Yeah, so like even like with the Dame thing, I probably did the song May or something, and then it comes out like July, and then everything just spikes
because everyone's going to the TheHomieDreebo.
Everybody trying to figure out what's what. And then he ended up putting it on his album the following year. So I mean, it'll spike, but it's just like about continuing that momentum. So a lot of times in music specifically, when you got like a big moment coming, you typically like to have a song or a project or a video or something kind of to drop, so that now when people are trying to figure out, all right, who is this guy, you give them something new in addition to the past stuff.
Yeah, so you want to sustain the hype and make sure you keep
and
the
then
engagement.
also give them a new piece of something, so that way they can kind of, because a lot of times too it's like a progression, so the next thing should always be better than the last thing. So you always want to give them one more, so that way when they come back to you, they're seeing what the level of that thing they saw was, and they're not just going back to the old stuff, which is at a lower level in theory.
Because one thing we always talk about is consistency, and so that's like the biggest thing. And for those of you who don't know, you dropped 365 songs in 1 year, like every single day. People can't even post, bro. People can't even post normal.
I was just telling the kids at the high school, I was like, some of y'all don't even take showers every day.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Or let alone post on social media consistently each day. So posting a song though,
like, for sure.
I know, even Khalil can't even post a song in 4 years.
What's up with that? Where your song at?
But how did you, like, what was the idea behind that, wanting to do that and then actually going through and doing that shit every day? Because I know that shit was hard, bro.
It was tough, for sure. It was definitely tough. It started because I saw an interview with Gary Vee and Nipsey Hussle, and they were talking about how like the future of music and how kind of it is what we see now. This was in 2017, and it was like they were talking about how artists are gonna have to put out music more rapidly, and they were talking about one day an artist is gonna drop 365 songs, like a song every day for the whole year. And when I heard that in 2017, I felt like I was like, I could do that, because I just it just sounds crazy. In reality, it is as hard as it sounds.
Especially looking back on it, you're like, damn, you did that, bro.
It's hard as it sounds, but it takes a certain type of person and ability to be able to do that. And I was just like, I feel like I could do that. So I was like, damn, I never did it. 2017, 2018 go by, 2019, 2020 hit, we in the pandemic, and I'm like, damn, I should have been doing it right now. Like, everybody at home, everybody shut down, everybody on their phones. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it top of 2021. So I probably decided, like, I probably had that thought like summer of 2020, and then committed to the idea of it in like November.
Were you coming up with like new songs during it, or you kind of use songs that you had?
Nah, so what I did was I decided like fully like November, and then December I started recording for it.
Crazy, huh?
So I had a couple songs in the tuck, and then I basically recorded Crazy, and I started the year with 50 songs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I started. So January 1st, 2021, I had 50 songs, and I was like, I gotta just keep making them before the month ends.
Yeah.
So I was doing good. January, I had that already done, and then I had like half of February or whatever 50 makes up most of February. So I was doing good. I had March before March came. I had April before April came. I had May before May came. And then June, I had half of May before May came. But then, life hit, you got shit going on, things, and it got a little harder to do. So probably like the middle of May, like May 15th, I flew to Chicago, went to my aunt's funeral, came back, and I had no song. So I came back, I had a song for the day I came back, but not the next day.
So you had to lock back
so
in quick, huh?
So the flight came back like on the 15th.
That's right before my birthday, May 16th.
Yeah, and I the flight came back on the 15th. I came back in like the evening, like 6 p.m. or something. I did an interview that same day, and then I had to make a song for the next day.
Damn,
and then from May 15th all the way through the end of the year, I was just making them every day for the next day.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Did it help you though? Like, what did that help you with? Like, not only you knowing like, okay, damn, I could do this mentally, and then like, as far as fans, did that like grow as well over time?
Definitely, everything grew. Like the audience grew, the numbers grew. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I got out of it was like my ability as an artist for like
as a person too, to just stay driven for
sure,
a year straight, like
that too.
Not many like, people could do that.
Yeah, exactly. So that, and just I feel like I just reached a different tier as an artist.
Dang.
Like my brain works differently when it comes to the music. My abilities are different. Like this just it's a lot. I've reached like a different tier as an artist, and it just made me that much better for real.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah, speaking outside of discipline, what ideas and creativity would you say you used when making each of these songs for 365 days?
Yeah, and even nowadays too.
I mean, during that period, it was just free range, whatever.
You came to
it was like whatever I could make, and I was making a lot of the beats too. So like in the month of June, during that, I think I made like I don't know how many days in June, 30 or something like that. I think I made like 25 of the beats myself.
And 30 songs.
Yeah, so I made 30 songs and 25 of the beats I made myself. So a lot of it was just going into the studio every day and then just fucking playing with sounds and seeing what sticks. And then there was a point where my graphic designer who was doing all the graphics, he couldn't keep up, and his son was like painting all the paintings, but then his son stopped liking the paint in the middle of the year. And then so he running out of paintings, he figuring out to rework the paintings to reuse the same ones and change the colors or whatever. And then I started having to make the songs every day. So he couldn't make the graphic every day for me, so I would have to, like, if June was coming, I would have to make all the names for June.
How much did all that cost?
Before I made the song. I think that's my boy. So I was paying him like, I think I was paying him like $200 a month for the graphics.
Okay, so nothing crazy. But that year though, like, what would you say is one thing you learned most that year from dropping that, from doing that every day? About yourself?
Damn. What's the one thing I learned? Damn, probably that I'm more capable than I think I am. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll have ideas and we'll feel like they're just so fucking far-fetched, like there ain't no way I could do that, but it's like you really probably could. You just gotta try that motherfucker. You know what I mean? You just gotta go and commit to it for real. And it's like I'm just grateful because a lot, everybody around me had to sacrifice too, you know what I mean, because I was just locked in on the music. I had to miss a lot of shit. Couldn't be at this, couldn't be at that, you know what I mean? I'm not as good of a husband, I'm not as good as a brother or son, during that time, because I'm just locked in. But everybody understood.
Especially looking back now, like you could be like, dang, like I really did that shit.
1,000%.
And everyone else, understands now, like you were locked in.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. So
and
when you're in it, it's kind of like
I'm etched in history. You know what I mean? Like if anybody ever does that moving forward, I'm still the one that's gonna be talked about first. You know what I mean?
That's lit.